Are you dreaming of those beautiful Italian landscapes, sipping coffee in the morning, overlooking the Tuscan hills, or strolling through the historical streets of Rome, but worried about getting your long-term visa sorted out? Well, stress no more. This video is here to guide you through the maze of searching for a long-term visa option and where to find the most accurate and up-to-date information for the right visa for you. Today, I want to share some valuable insights about securing a long-term visa in Italy. I've already purchased 4 properties in Sicily and shared my experiences right here on this channel. As a result, I get tons of people asking me, what about living there permanently? I'm assuming that you've made the life-changing decision to move to Italy, and maybe you've even bought a property, and now you're wondering, what do I do next? Italy offers a special type of visa called an elective residence visa. This visa is designed for non-EU citizens who are financially independent and wish to reside in Italy without engaging in any work activities. Sounds perfect for retirees, doesn't it? Now you might be wondering, I'm not old enough to be retired, and what does financially independent really mean? Great question. This means that you need to have a stable income to support yourself. Last I remember, you need to show that you have an income higher than the minimum annual social allowance in Italy, which is roughly 31,000 euros or about, let's say like $34,000. However, this figure can change, so it's always best to check what the current requirements are. And what kind of incomes qualify, you may ask? Your income could come from various sources. It could be pensions, annuities, any stable economic and commercial activities, or other sources such as rent from property ownership or stable financial investments. Basically, any source of income that does not involve actively working or being an active employee in Italy. So I'll give you a few more examples so that you could really think this through. So think about dividends from owning stocks. If you own stocks or in a large enough portfolio where they're spinning off dividend cash income for you, you could show that as your income and proof that you're able to sustain yourself. Remember, this is all about not taking away Italian jobs and bringing new money to the economy. So their thinking is, if you have this passive income coming in, you're not going to take away jobs and you're going to be able to support yourself on at least the basic or socially average level. And $34,000 does it. Now you can also show that income in the form of rental income. So as long as that is reporting on your tax return as passive income or rental income, and there's a schedule for that, if you could show that that number is more than $33,000 a year, then it does it for you. So if you own a home, for example, it's owned free and clear, and the rent would be $4,000 a month on this sort of property. On $4,000 a month, you would easily qualify. You just have to show that you're earning $4,000 a month on that rental property, and that should do it. If you have a larger portfolio, even better. You just need to make sure that your tax documents are reflecting your income. So don't try to hide that if you're trying to secure this sort of residency visa, because they want to make sure that you have that money. Now, your pension income, your 401k distributions coming from other private companies. If you had invested in a private company or a fund of some kind, and they're giving you payouts because that's what's due to you at that time, or it could even be loan revenue, like you initiated a loan, you have a private loan or a private mortgage to somebody, you're making money off of rental cars, whatever you could think of, if it's coming in the form of a K-1 distribution or a 1099 for non-work, or it's qualified distributions that report on your tax return as such, you should be able to show that as viable income. Now, I'm not really sure how the rules kind of work when it comes to remote work. Like if you had a full-time employer in the United States and you were able to work remotely and that's showing as W-2 income, I'm not sure if that qualifies. So you're gonna have to kind of work through that on your own, or maybe apply for a different type of visa that allows you to remain in the country as long as you're able to sustain yourself. Again, I don't really know if remote work qualifies, but like I said, as long as you're not taking away jobs and you're able to show the income, I think it gives you a fighting chance. When showing income for elective residency visa, you need to demonstrate this income clearly. You usually need to provide official documents. For example, if it's retirement income, you might need to provide your pension statements or even your bank statements showing those regular deposits. For income from investments or properties, you could probably provide the same relevant documents, like I mentioned before, on your tax returns or your investment statements, your rental agreements, and any proof of payment. All these things should help you qualify and help demonstrate that you're not dependent on anything from Italy. So if you have any investments, any investment properties, any investment in private companies, anything that's paying you in that passive form, and it's not reporting on your tax return, the thing that I could advise you to do is starting the next year, make sure that those things report in the right areas. That way you're going to be able to meet that minimum threshold and show that that is the sort of money that they're looking for. Now, one thing that happened to my brother, he was applying for a similar sort of visa, but in Colombia, and he gets military retirement. And since it's not marked off in like kind of like the retirement or pension, or it's not like a social security distribution, it confused the immigration office and they disqualified it as being suitable income to demonstrate that he is retired. So before you put in your applications, obviously make sure that the section on your returns or the documentation that they accept, that you are able to provide that same documentation in the same schedule or in the same section. Because usually the people who are auditing, they don't really know the nuances of our tax system that well. And all they're doing is working off a checklist that says the income must be in this field. If it's not in this field, it doesn't count. So you want to make sure that any of your distributions, dividends, payouts of any kind from your passive income sources are able to report on that. And you could do things like set up your own company just as a holdco for any asset that you have. And when there's a pass-through that's your distribution, you can make sure that you meet that mark. So you just show that document, that return, and evidence that you are an investor or you are a shareholder in said company, which is really just the holding company for your real estate. So I think this is an excellent way to pursue it. If you're one of those retired people, or you're just someone who has a home that's paid outright, you're not ready to sell it, but you want to make sure that that income will qualify you. You can do the same thing with your Airbnb revenue. One thing I talk about on my channel is converting apartments into Airbnb. So if you had a business that is the operating entity for your Airbnbs, and that business is generating $50,000, $100,000 a year, and it's paying you a distribution, either pre or post taxes, is paying you a distribution that is your cut, you should be able to show that as that evidence. But of course, always make sure that it qualifies and it's done in the way that the Italian government is expecting or looking for. It's essential to understand that the application process can be intricate and specific requirements may vary. Just like I gave you that example in Colombia, things change all the time. This information is just a guide, and I highly recommend that you consult the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You can check out their website and go through this, or get professional advice from an immigration attorney to understand the exact requirements based on your personal circumstance. My circumstances are different than yours, and yours are going to need their own unique set of skills and own unique kind of presentation to make sure that you qualify. Now, I don't have any contacts for an Italian immigration attorney because I myself am not pursuing long-term residency in Italy just yet. I only go there for the summers with my family, so I operate and function under the typical tourist visa. But if I were looking to relocate there permanently, and for anybody who's been looking to relocate there permanently, this is certainly an option that you should pursue, and the threshold is quite low. Maybe this summer while I'm there, because I'm planning on going for summer 2024, I'll try to meet with an immigration attorney that speaks English, or at least have a translator on hand, and I'll do a video where they could talk through what the process looks like, so it could be a little bit more specific than what I'm presenting today. But nonetheless, you have all of the year to start planning on making sure your passive income reports in the right sections. I know it may seem like a daunting process, but remember, once you get this sorted out, you'll be able to enjoy la dolce vita, the sweet life uninterrupted in your new Italian home. If you are interested in getting more information, or if you need help navigating through this process, feel free to reach out to me. After all, a journey to Italy is a journey to a dream, and I'm here to help you make that dream a reality. Also, let me know if I should cover other visa options like the digital nomad visa or residence through ancestry in the comment section below. That way I could focus on putting that content out so it matches your needs. If you're still on the fence about Italy, check out this video right here to see if Italy is the right fit for you. You get to see multiple people share their story on what made Italy their country of choice. Make sure you check that out.